Hello again, I'm Mark Samples. In this video, I want to share with you how I organize my video lessons that I deliver online. I find that there are two main problems that need to be solved when making video lessons. One is at the very beginning of the process, and the other is at the very end. And I want to share with you my answers to those two problems in this video. So first I'm going to show you how I take my long lectures, my 45 or 50-minute long lectures, and divide them into small enough chunks that they can be sort of manageable for students. That's at the beginning of the process. Then I'm going to show you how I have decided to deliver those videos to the students on the other end. So how they actually look inside of my Canvas course, which is my LMS or Learning Management System, similar to Blackboard or other services like this. So that's what we're going to do in this video. I'll share with you my solutions to both of those problems so that you can take your video lessons and divide them up into manageable chunks, and then you can display them to students in a way that is user-friendly. So let's get started. If you're teaching online, maybe you are taking a course that you've taught in person and trying to translate it into a video course format. That can be quite a challenge, and the first challenge is how do you divide your long lectures? Maybe you teach for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. How do you take those long form lectures and put them into a format that your students can understand and that will be manageable for them and their learning? Well, what I've found is that whereas I used to, at the beginning of my sort of online teaching career, teach these very long video lessons, I don't do that anymore. Instead, the best practice is to divide your longer lectures into sort of reasonable, logical, shorter chunks and have those be individual videos. And then you can sequence those videos in a way that students can learn as if they were learning from a longer form lecture. I'm going to show you how to do that later. The first question is, how do you divide up your lectures? What is a good length for a lecture? How should you organize these different subjects? I'll say I've spent probably far too many hours just sort of wrestling with this question, and I wanted to share with you what I've found. I have video lessons that range probably from about 1 to 2 minutes for the intro and introductory video lesson to a series of videos, to 7 to 10 minutes is maybe the average, and then on the long end up to 15 or even 20 minutes, although I try to stay away from anything above 12 to 15 minutes. So when I'm sitting down and I'm trying to wrap my brain around a new course and translating it to a video context, the first thing I do is I take out all the content and I make an outline of all the video lessons that I want to make. I do this right at the beginning of the course, and that helps me get a plan for the rest of my production, for how I produce these videos. So I'm going to show you an example of this here on my computer. This is a program called Notion, and it's how I like to organize my courses these days and the planning of the courses. I do some things in the delivery of my courses through Notion, but maybe I'll share that with you another time in a different video. So here what you have is a course. So if I'm over here in my music courses, this is the course for music history, and I'll click on that, and I have all these different topics. You can see right here at the top I have a video lectures outline page, and I'm going to click into that, and you can see an example of how I've divided this content up. So this is for a music history course for music majors, and so we go just kind of topic by topic. The first module is ancient to medieval music, and this is Western European music history. So what I've done here, each of these big points is a chapter in the textbook. So in this course, I go pretty close to the textbook for my organization, just because I find that it helps students understand the structure of the content. If it were a seminar course or an upper division course, I would use my own structure. But in this case, I like to stick pretty close to the book to get that synchronicity between the textbook and the lectures. So each of these is a chapter, and underneath each of these topics, I have bullet points that are subtopics for that chapter. Basically, it's very simple. Each of these bullets gets its own video lecture. Each of these bullets gets its own video lecture. This This topic actually is, I call my zero topic. It's an intro topic that doesn't correspond with a chapter. It's just introductory material for the whole course, such as the course themes, how to study for the course, why is this course relevant, what is history and when does it begin, and then some words on forms, genres, and styles. Then when I get to the first chapter, which is Music in Antiquity, I've divided this up further. So for each chapter, I consider these to be a lesson series. So this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 video lessons within that chapter. And I always start a series of video lessons with an introductory video where we just give an overview of all of the topics that we'll cover in that chapter. So that's what this is, this lecture overview bullet here. Then the next video lesson would be 4 types of evidence in music history, Greek and Roman music theorists, heritage of the Greeks and Romans. Of course, you would be doing this in whatever discipline that you are teaching. You would divide it into subtopics. As you can see, some of these I've actually given some further notes here, but this is just from my own memory. It's just because I was thinking of it at that time and I added it in there. These would be the video lessons that I would make. Let's take a look at another chapter. So the next chapter has a few more video lessons within it, and we find that they are, things like what's history, when does it begin, Charlemagne and the unified liturgy, diversity before unity, just these topics that I know that I want to discuss. I'll tell you, between this planning stage, the outlining stage, and the actual creation of the videos, these titles might change, and that's okay. But what's important is that I'm dividing the chapters up right now so that I get a sense of how many videos I'm truly going to need to be making. Let's just look at maybe the last chapter in this module, and you can see, again, it's just a series of subtopics. So what I do for a new course that I am going through and planning to do my video lessons, what I'll do is give a first pass of what I think a logical division of these video lessons should be. Each of these, I'm imagining, is going to be anywhere from 3 to 5 to maybe 7 or 10 minutes long. That's the range that I like to keep. And then once I'm done with all of that outlining, I would go to designing the PowerPoints. I actually use Keynote for my slideshow software, but I'll design and record and edit all the videos. What I want to do next, though, is go right to the end of the process and show you how I put these videos into my course website. I'll show you the solution I've come up with in case it's of use for you. Okay, now let's say I have planned the video lectures, I've designed my slideshows, I've recorded all the video lectures, and I have edited all the video lectures. But where do I put them in my course website? I'm going to share with you my solution. There are lots of ways to do this, and you might find a better way than I have. But this is the way that works for me, because I believe that it allows the students to view the videos in sequence, and for them to easily go from one topic to the next, and to really sense the structure of the video lectures in a similar way to a class period. So I'm going to share with you how I do that. So let's go to my Canvas webpage. Canvas is just the service that we use for our course websites at my university. You may use a different one, such as Blackboard, but everything I'm doing here can be translated to other services. In Canvas, I have a sort of demonstration model here just for the purposes of this video. So I'm going to show you how I would go about placing the videos for a particular chapter into my course website. The way I like to do that is I want to create a page. In Canvas, a page is kind of like it's equivalent to a web page or even more like a document. And so it can actually sequence from top to bottom material, such as videos. And so I like to do that. So I'm going to give this a name, and I'll call it Chapter 1, Music in Antiquity. Music in Antiquity. So I'm going to go ahead and add that item. Now it's created this item, so I'll click on it so I can edit it now. Now I'm editing a page. This is how I like to do this. If I have a page, what I can do is just stack each video one on top of the other in the order that I would prefer. So I'm going to do that in Edit. Now I get this box here, this text box where I can add material. So I might say something like, please watch these videos and take notes. These videos correspond with chapter 1. Great. Now, what I want to do is I want to place my videos one by one in the order that I want them to be viewed, okay? So in Canvas, the way you do that is you grab the videos from Panopto, and that's this external tools button that looks kind of like a power plug. And the first time you do this, you might have to go into View All and then select Panopto. But after you do that once, it will show up in this frequently used tools sort of menu here. So let's click on that, and now I have all of my Panopto recordings. First thing I want to do is find the folder that has my videos. This is going to be Fall 2020 Music History 1. And this course, as you'll see, has quite a lot of videos. I made well over 100 videos for this class. But what I want to do is just go to the beginning here to show you how it might begin. Now, here's the series of video lessons that I want to place in order. So I want to go 1.1, 2, 3, and so on. So let's just add the first one here and insert. As you can see, that will place this video here right underneath my text. I hit a couple enter, hard returns there, and I go back to Panopto recordings. And this is kind of a laborious process because I'm going back and doing this for demonstration purposes. Typically, these are all in the correct order. Okay. So let's go now. Number 2. A couple hard returns. Do the process again. Is there a faster way to do this? Maybe, but this is the way that works for me. You know, and what I find is that when you find a process that works for you and is repeatable, you can do it over and over. Like I mentioned, in a typical on a typical example, I wouldn't have to scroll down quite so much as I am having to do now. Okay, let's just do one more here. And the last one I want to place for now is going to be this one. So let's say that's all of the videos for this chapter. Now I have put all of them in there, and I'm going to click Save and Publish. What I like about this is that when your students open up that page, they will see each video one after the other, kind of like in a visual playlist, so that when they play through one of the videos and it completes, so let's give this a shot here. Hello and welcome to the first series of lectures in Survey of Music History. Okay, now they listen through all of that, it ends, and then they know that they can go straight on to the next video lesson. In this section, I want to talk to you about the 4 types of evidence in music history. So as you can see, it takes a little bit of work on your end, but for the student, it is going to be very seamless, logical. It's just going to make sense that you start at the top and work down when you're watching these video lessons. What I find is that if you use this process, your students will just get how and in what order they're supposed to be watching their video lessons. So I hope this video has been somewhat useful for you. What I've covered is this. The 2 problem points in organizing your video lessons really come at the beginning and the end of the process, especially when you're converting an in-class course to video lessons where you're doing pre-recorded video lessons. So at the beginning of the process, what I like to do is in Notion or in a Word document or some other program of your choice, make an outline where you have the big topics, maybe by chapter, maybe by module, and then under that have bullet points of every individual topic or video lesson that you want to create. That will be your master plan for then creating slideshows, recording your videos, and editing your videos. Then at the very other end of the process, when you're putting them on your course website for viewing by your students, what I like to do is create a page and then have each of these videos sequenced one after the other. What this means is that from the student's perspective, they will see every single video lesson according to page, and they will know when they click into that page, they will just start at the top and watch all of the videos for that chapter. Just one note, I would make an individual page for each individual chapter. Well, that does it for this video. If you want to see some of my other lessons on how to edit your videos as a university professor, you can see some of those videos linked in the description below. If you want to find other content that I've created, you can go to my website. That link is also in the description below. But for now, thanks so much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.